lang guys. So. Lang guys, sa setup ko lang to, mabilis lang. Shucks mga kapatid. Hirap ng time zone natin ngayon. Goedendag. Sara, Sara. Sara, Sara, all. Sara, Sara. Sara, Sara, survivor, Sara. Sara, Sara, survivor, Sara, all. Dami na naman tayong pakulo. Let's get the ball rolling. Sara, Sara. Sara, survivor. Sara, Sara. Sara, survivor. Wait lang guys Sabi naman, asar na naman tayo. Papagalitan na naman tayo ng mga trolls. Mga respeto natin ng mga friends na trolls. Sara, Sara. Sara, designated survivor. Ayan na naman tayo. Okay. Bilisan natin, may trabaho pa tayo dyan. Sara, Sara. Sara. Ano nangyari dito? Sara, all. Yan. Let's get the ball rolling. Yan. Sara, Sara. Sara, Sara. Designated survivor. Okay guys. Kamusta ko? Goedendag. Tingnan mo, makuha ko yung tamang pronunciation. Goedendag. Ayan. Anyways, parang yun yung parang guten tag nila dito. Okay guys, katulad ng sinabi natin, ako busy on the move tayo kahapon. I was not able to join you guys for nightly meta. Medyo mahirap na rin time zone ngayon. So, simula pa lang ng araw kanina, gabi na dyan sa Pilipinas. Pero, maaga-maaga pa lang, ang daming pala nangyari sa Pilipinas. Ang daming ganap, mga kamets. At of course, eto na, konfirmado na ni Sara Duterte na hindi na siya mag-attend sa State of the Nation address, sa third State of the Nation address. So that means guys, na eto na talaga. This is official. Wala na ang Uniteam, right? Of course, matagal na talaga na wala ng Uniteam, but in many ways, guys, this is essentially the most official that you can get about this. Na sasabihin mo talaga na wala na talagang Uniteam. So I think now it will be almost impossible for President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. na magpanggap na there's any such thing as a Uniteam, considering guys na talagang wala na yung Vice Presidente sa State of the Nation address natin. We know that this is usually one of the most extreme cases pag wala na yung Vice Presidente sa isang State of the Nation address natin. I remember at least in the case of Leni Robredo, at some point she was parang not welcome na sa Sona, di ba? But she was parang still posting pictures na she's following Sona online via Zoom. So anyway, ang tanong ngayon is this effectively the declaration of war? Meaning, eto na talaga ang simula ng pagiging self-appointed leader of self-described opposition sa 2025 elections. Obviously, matagal na sinasabi ng mga ibang DDS dyan, mga Panelo types, mga Digong people, mga Davao guys, na Sara Duterte should effectively serve as a leader of quote-unquote opposition. As I always said, there's a big difference between genuine opposition at yung naging opposition lang dahil hindi nila nakuha yung gusto nilang posisyon or hindi nila nakuha yung mga gusto nila. I was going through some of the articles kanina at nakita ko meron isang article sa Nikkei Asia, for instance, na nagsabi na si Sara Duterte will be the true power behind the throne, no? And then we had a lot of pieces about supposed continuity in terms of power of Duterte's, at parang assumption dyan is Marcos will be nothing but ano lang, parang front lang siya, symbolic leader lang siya, di ba? And no less than Duterte on many occasions, sinabi ni na Marcos, wala yan, mahina yan, weak leader yan. And then later on, more or less, sinabi niya, bangag yan, wala yan. So, it's very clear na ang mga Dutertes always expected to be the real power brokers, even if officially si Marcos Jr. yung presidente. Right. Now, mahabang usapan how Duterte got it wrong. As I said, that's already a sign na humina na si Duterte at hindi na si ganun ka-sharp, because if he were really smart and if he were really sharp, he would have engineered a successful transition either to Bongo or to Sara Duterte. Except he couldn't decide. Pinilit niya, pinilit niya si Bongo, malabo siya kay Sara, nag-awa yung dalawa. In the end, wala sa kanila naging presidential candidate. And that paved the way essentially for Marcos Jr. to become the president. Now, that's what happened back in 2022. But obviously, once naging presidente na si Marcos Jr., the game plan was for him to assert and to remind everyone sino ang tunay na presidente. And under that condition, we saw President Marcos Jr. denying Sara Duterte the defense secretary position that she felt entitled to. He made sure na someone like Gloria Macapagal Arroyo would not think that she's the ultimate power broker, and she didn't even become the Speaker of the House. Over the next, essentially 2 years, nakita natin na Marcos keeps on disappointing the Dutertes by taking a completely different position on a whole range of issues. First sona pa lang ni Marcos Jr., hindi niya minention ang Chacha. First sona pa lang niya, he didn't mention or he barely mentioned war on drugs. First sona pa lang niya, pinakita niya na pagdating sa West Philippine Sea at saka ating relasyon sa China, it will not be the same. It will not be a continuation of Duterte's. Marcos Jr. made it very clear in his very first State of the Nation address na hindi magiging Duterte 2.0 ang kanyang administration. He is his own man. He will set his own priorities. But nevertheless, he tried to be always civil kay Sara Duterte. At hanggang ngayon, nakikita natin na si Marcos Jr. hindi niya ina-attack si Sara Duterte. The only person from the Marcos camp that has attacked Sara Duterte is not even Marcos. It's Ana Araneta. It's the First Lady, Liza Araneta, who dun sa kanyang interview with Anthony Taberna, made it very clear na bad vibes na siya, bad shot na siya kay Sara Duterte, at sa kanyang palagay, it's increasingly difficult to separate Sara Duterte from what her father has been doing, what her brothers have been doing. So nakita natin si Baste, right and left, ina-attack si Digong, ina-attack si Marcos Jr., pinaparesign niya si Marcos. And of course, Digong, right and left, ina-attack niya si Marcos, kini-question niya kanyang fitness for office, sinasabi na bangag siya. And essentially, push for some sort of people power, if not incitement to sedition and rebellion. No, we can have a long conversation about those things, but you are free to watch yung mga speeches ni Digong at yung kanyang pangbabastos sa ating presidente. I didn't vote for Marcos Jr., but at the end of the day, he's our president. So when you have someone like Digong, who's now officially a private citizen, and some would say officially the worst president we have had, openly attacking at binabastos yung ating presidente, I'm not sure that's something that we should welcome. I think you're free to criticize President Marcos Jr. I criticize President Marcos Jr. on a number of issues. I think he has not done enough on corruption. I think he has not genuinely apologized. Forget about Jenny, he's not apologized at all for or recognize yung mga masamang nangyari nung panahon ng martial law. If anything, he's distorting history or is insisting on a distorted revisionist version of history. So, we can criticize Marcos Jr. I have nothing against that. Pero yung babastusin mo ng ganito, and then of course nakita natin yung mga ibang vloggers nila na kunyari yung mga buljakan nila na vloggers ay nagka-claim na meron silang mga videos daw na bangag si ganyan. And in the end, all of these things are nothing but salacious, nonsensical attacks. And the fact that kung titignan mo itong mga vloggers na itong mga walang yung vloggers na yan, ito yung mga nag-support ng Unity Team. Yung mga nakikita natin ngayon na nag-iingay at tinatak si Marcos Jr. at min-mention yung martial law, min-mention yung legacy ni Marcos Sr., yung mga nagbe-mention ng mga um, supposedly or real kapalpakan ni Marcos Jr. All of these people, guys, let's not forget, all of these people were part of the unity team. So kayo ang enablers. Ako, hindi ako bumoto sa unity team. Proudly, I did vote for that. Kayo ang nagpapanalo kay Marcos Jr. Kayo ang nagpabalik ng mga Marcoses sa Malacanang. So, kasalanan yan. You have enabled this. So, huwag kayong magmamalinis ngayon. You are part of this problem, guys, as far as we are discussing this. Okay. Ayan na naman mga syong-syong. Okay. Hong bao, you're gonna get blocked, bao. Okay, yan. Block. Yan. One troll down. Oh, sabi ko sa inyo guys, we can have a nice conversation here. Huwag kayong behave yourself, otherwise you're gonna get blocked. If you don't agree with me, okay lang. Edi magsulat ka ng article, di gawa ka ng blog nyo, edi mag-vlogger kayo and talk about how great Duterte is in your own imaginary world, okay? Anyway, balikan natin itong issue na ito guys. So, what are we to make out of Sara Duterte's no-show in SONA? We already had a vlog on that and I suggest you guys check that dun sa ating YouTube. Nag-post na tayo about what is the implication of a Sara no-show and what it means, guys, in terms of, not, we are deprived of all of those wonderful things that the Sara attendance at SONA would bring. Of course, some would say it's cultural appropriation, but some would say it's also highlighting the Philippines' indigenous culture. Okay, every year nakita natin si Sara nung pumunta siya, nagsusuot ng mga indigenous people's costumes. As I said, wala akong problema dyan. I welcome that as long as hindi ito cultural appropriation. As long as this is with the consent of the communities. As long as this is based on history of service and collaboration with certain communities. So, I'm from Baguio. I'm not Cordilleran, but I feel affinity with Cordillera people. But if I were to wear something na Cordilleran, I would only do that if sa tingin ko, and sa tingin nila, most especially, depending which tribe and which community, I have done enough to be considered as one of one of their own, right? So anyway, we can have a long conversation about that. But nevertheless, interaction between Sara Duterte and the First Lady, interaction between the President and the First Lady, interaction between Sara Duterte and other people, all of those things, right? Yun ang mga inaabangan natin, guys, pagdating sa SONA. And sorry, this year we're not gonna have that. But one thing that made this year's no-show of Sara Duterte even more interesting is that not only did she confirm na hindi siya mag-attend sa SONA, if anything, may sinabi din siya na parang, is this joke? Is this a veiled threat? Or is this ano lang nila, ekbangan lang nila, or hanash lang nila, or whatever you want to see. So, obviously, I'm referring dito, guys, dun sa announcement ni Sara Duterte na not only she's not attending the SONA, but she's gonna appoint herself as the designated survivor. So let's try to break that down, guys. Ano ibig sabihin ng...
Attend ka sa SONA?
No, I will not attend the SONA. I am appointing myself as the designated survivor.
Kasi alam mo, attend ka sa SONA. Attend ka sa SONA.
Humingal pa ng malalim, no?
No. No, I will not attend the SONA. I am appointing myself as the designated survivor.
Attend ka sa SONA?
No, I will not attend the SONA.
So,
I am appointing myself
Tapos huminga
as
pa
the
siya ng malalim.
designated
Tapos meron pa siyang
survivor.
smile
Kasi
afterward.
alam mo, attend ka sa SONA.
Okay, hinga.
Attend ka sa SONA.
No.
Okay.
No, I will not attend the SONA. I am appointing myself as the designated survivor.
Attend ka sa SONA.
No, I will not attend the SONA. I am appointing myself as the designated survivor.
Kasi alam mo, attend ka sa SONA. Attend ka sa SONA.
Meron pa siyang mga breathe in, breathe out exercise, di ba?
No, I will not attend the SONA. I am appointing myself as the designated survivor.
Attend ka sa SONA.
No, I will not attend the SONA.
So anyway, there are
I am
different
appointing-
angles of this, guys. So, let's make sense out of it. Sa isang banda, you can just say, ayan na naman sila. Naghahana siya naman ng mga Duterte. Nanggugulo na naman sila. Let's not forget, guys. Just the other week, si Digong mismo pinagtawanan yung suggestion ng anak niya not one, not two, hindi isa, hindi dalawa, tatlong Duterte daw ang tatakbo sa Senado. Alright? And we said, of course, malaking joke yan, yung tatlong Duterte. Wait lang guys, let me deal with, answer to win, obviously your troll account, shame on you for suggesting ng any of us is supporting Marcos and all, because I have been criticizing Marcos until now and on different issues throughout the past decade and all. Okay, maya ka sa mukha mo, troll ka mo, block kita shortly, okay? Again yung mga DDS dyan na nag-attack sa atin for supporting to Marcos foreign policy in West Philippines dahil tama naman yung ginagawa niya, alright, by saying, so just because we support Marcos, correct policy in West Philippines, pro-Marcos ka na, Marcos apologist ka na, maya kayo sa balat nyo, maya kayo sa mukha nyo. Marcos is doing what any decent, self-respecting president should have done. It was Duterte was a disaster for the Philippines. Siya yung worst president para sa atin pagdating sa West Philippines issue. Under his watch, nangyari yung Gemver Reed Bank crisis. Under his watch, nangyari yung sa Whitson Reef. And Duterte got zero investments from China na big-ticket infrastructure projects. Show me a single big-ticket infrastructure project by China. It was under Duterte na wala siyang ginawa whatsoever. Hindi niya in-expose mga bullying ng fishermen natin. Hindi niya in-expose yung illegal fishing costing us hundreds of millions of dollars every year. Right? Ako, parati ko na-criticize yung legacy ni Marcos dictatorship. I'll continue to do that. Now, when any president, even the one that I didn't vote for, does something correct on the issue, I give credit where credit's due. Hindi ko na problema na sobrang palpak ni Duterte. I only supported him on one issue, and that was the peace process in Mindanao. So when Duterte did one thing correct in his entire 6 years presidency, which was to push for peace process, and dun sa referendum sa Bangsamoro, I said that was his finest moment. So kung nag-iisip yung presidente, tama yung ginagawa niya, I'm gonna give credit where credit due. But please, okay, umayos kayo dyan. Ayan, block na. Okay. Thank you Ginamit lang kita pang ano. Thanks sa engagement. Now, let's go back to this. Ito talaga guys Ito mga walang yung mga ano na to. Silang nag-support sa unit team. Sila yung nagpanalo sa Marcos. Tapos ngayon, kung sino mag-support dun sa West Philippine Sea policy ni Marcos dahil tama, tatawagin nilang apologies. Maya kayo sa balat niyo. Alright, maya kayo sa balat niyo. Umayos kayo dyan. Alright. Anyways, block na tong mga duwag na yan na nagtatroll-troll. May budget pa ba kayo? May farm pa rin ba kayo? Anyway, balik tayo dito. Okay, guys, alam niyo naman, yan ang nagbibigay ng energy at sa atin, excitement sa atin, yung mga pabardagulan natin, yung mga walang yan. Anyway, going back to this, guys. Pag-usapan natin to. So, first of all, you can just dismiss this and say, ekbangan lang ng mga Duterte yan, dahil alam naman natin, good luck running for 3 offices Senate. First of all, malabo na more than two Dutertes can make it to Senate. Medyo malabo din kung si Digong mismo ay tatakbo sa Senate. If I think yung dalawang sons, baka isa lang makapasok. It's not gonna be easy. But more importantly, dun sa isang episode, pinag-usapan natin yung threat from the Nograleses. And it's very possible that Mix Nograles may run for mayor of Davao. And Dutertes are more vulnerable than ever. Medyo wala na silang budget katulad ng dati, yung access nila, yung mga confidential funds nila, wala na yung mga yan. So the Dutertes are quite vulnerable right now. And in the upcoming elections, the administration can go all in and support the Nograleses para for the first time since the 1990s, medyo magkakaroon ng reshuffle doon sa pecking order in terms of which family will be in charge of Davao. So actually, if you are Duterte right now, you're gonna worry about your own bailiwick. You're gonna worry about your own supposed backyard. Although, of course, I mean, it's an insult to our country. Not whole regions and cities are seen as just backyard of one dynasty or the other. But this is the political reality we have. And as far as political reality is concerned, nag-evolve na yan. At kung titignan mo ngayon, guys, actually, I won't be surprised if Nograles will be backed by the administration and run quite a robust challenge to the Dutertes in Davao mismo. So kung ako si Sara Duterte, baka kailangan ko na mag-isip kung kailangan kong bumalik sa Davao, right? Rather than thinking about 3 Dutertes in Senate, 1 in Vice Presidency, etc. Okay, that's their kind of a wet dream situation, but I doubt that's even possible, or even if it's possible, it comes at a very, very risky ang sobrang taas ng risk na baka dun sa kanilang bailiwick mismo ay challenge sila ng administration via the Nograles. And you are already seeing this fight between Pulong and Mix Nograles. We discussed that in the previous vlog. Titignan yan. Number two, if hindi lang hanash ito, anong ibig sabihin ni Sara Duterte? Because technically speaking, when you talk about designated survivor, ang pinag-usapan dito,
myself as
ang pinag-usapan dito is line of succession. All right, line of succession after the president. Now, in some political systems, hindi klaro sino magre-replace sa presidente if ever something happens, right? For instance, you have certain systems na there's a prime minister and a president. So you have a mixed presidential parliament system. Meron tayong mga systems kung saan multiple yung vice presidents, right? Hindi lang one vice president, multiple vice presidents. So you have, and then there are systems where you have one prime minister and potentially multiple deputy prime ministers, right? Or deputy prime minister which is not necessarily seen as a successor. So pero sa ating sistema naman guys, klarong-klaro naman na ang line of succession after the president is automatically the vice president. So kung even if hindi kasama yung vice presidente sa partido ng presidente, even if nag-resign na siya sa kabinete, klarong-klaro sa ating saligang batas guys, na the vice president is next in the line of succession. Now, having said that, I remember during the time of Lenny, all right, when she was the vice president, and there were concerns if si Digong ay tatagal. Remember, may mga times na hindi natin alam kung si Digong ay okay ba or hindi. Tapos, pandemic ito, medyo matanda na, hindi natin alam. There were people suggesting na baka there'll be an attempt to impeach Leni Robredo or some attempt to, some legal mumbo-jumbo to justify essentially circumventing Leni Robredo in a potential succession situation. I remember that very well. Na because at the end of the day, the reason takot na takot ang mga DDS kay Leni Robredo was because she was always in the line of succession, right? That God forbid if something happened to the president, siya yung designated successor, right? Diba? So, yun yung context nun. So, I don't understand. If this were just about line of succession and all of that, she didn't have to mention it. It's completely redundant and completely non-essential for her to talk about that. Now, that raises a possibility or a third interpretation. So, hindi lang ekbangan lang yan, hindi lang hanas yan, hindi naman pampagulo ng mga Duterte yan, hindi lang mga antics nila yan, hindi lang naman yung mga politics of disruption or brand this crisis type. Hindi rin ito a technical legal issue reminder to everyone na essentially, kasi the second one is essentially Sara saying, yes, wala na ako sa kabinete, pero ako pa rin ang vice-presidente, and just in case, ako ay nasa line of succession. Alright? I'm more than just a spare tire. Right? I'm essentially a heartbeat away from the presidency. Alright? But there could be a third interpretation, and that's why some people were saying, dapat dun sa video, pinakita mo yung full video, kasi may smile daw siya na medyo kakaiba after nung sinabi niya na I'm designating myself as I'm appointing myself as a designated survivor, diba? Obviously, that raised concerns about a kind of a conspiracy theory situation, all right? And this brings us to the show na Designated Survivor. Kung hindi na napanood yan, ito yung actor na guy dun sa diba? Ito yung Designated Survivor. Ito yung guy sa sa 24, di ba? Naalala yung movie na 24. So ito yung actor dun sa 24. And obviously, as you know, yung 24 is always about this kind of kind of apocalyptic political crisis situation, emergency, ganun. So, ganun din yung genre niya. But if you look at this movie, ang kwento niya dito is a kind of a low-level cabinet member becomes the president when something catastrophic happens and mamatay lahat ng presidente, vice-presidente, lahat ng mga speaker of the house. Essentially, everyone else nandun sa line of succession ay nawala. So, by some freak accident, ang naging eventual presidente is someone way down the pecking order. But Sara is the vice president. So, parang walang parallel dito kasi ito ay low-level cabinet member. Let's say DSWD cabinet secretary or something like that, becoming the president or something like that. No offense. I mean, low level doesn't mean low. I mean, you're not the foreign secretary, defense secretary. You're not the speaker of the house. You're not the vice president. You're not the president of the senate, etc. So medyo out ka dun sa primary line of succession. But then again, I mean, so ano yun? Parang you're implying something. You're trying to threaten. Are you saying that something is gonna happen? Again, I'm not gonna impute anything to the vice president, but why would she say something like that when clearly many people can interpret it that way, right? Um, and yun nga eh, even if that's what she didn't mean, and let's assume that it was just a very innocent comment, etc. Let's just say it's interpretation number one or two. This is not this is not gonna help. This is not helping anyone, right? Because it's just gonna reinforce yung itong mga worries, itong mga conspiracy theories and mga others. As you know, of course, President Rodrigo Duterte was accused of incitement to sedition. Justice Carpio doesn't think so, but there are other legal experts who think maybe, or at least that may have crossed the threshold, no, yung separation of Mindanao. If you watch yung speech ni Digong nung earlier this year na pinag-usapan natin nung nasa Japan pa tayo with sila Ronald and mga others, dun sa speech niya, right, hindi lang siya nagmumura, hindi lang siya inattack, hindi niya lang inattack si BBM na bangag daw siya or drug addict daw, yung mga ganyan. Hindi lang niya inaway-away yung first lady. Nakita din natin doon, he was essentially calling on the armed forces of the Philippines to do something. He even talked about people power and warned that Marcos Jr. will suffer the same fate as his father. Essentially, people power, essentially being overthrown through extra constitutional procedure. So my point is, medyo mainit-init ang panahon, di ba? Medyo the air is highly charged with conspiracy theories, with concerns with extra constitutional efforts to oust President Marcos Jr., right? We saw confirmation, although it was later denied by people in the armed forces of the Philippines, that there were murmurings, or at least there were some retired officials, generals who may have been involved in some mumbo jumbo activities, right? And we saw some reshuffle also in the military leadership in early 2023. So again, the vice president should be aware na ganito yung level of discussions ngayon. And most importantly, ito yung pinaka-conspiracy theory na narinig ko na may mga tao na may interest na hindi makapagtapos ng third State of the Nation address si Marcos Jr. because constitutionally speaking, based on the precedent set by the Arroyo presidency, if ever magkakaroon ng change of presidency, and the line of succession is very clear, vice president comes up next, if ever ma-replace si BBM before he essentially finishes his third State of the Nation address, potentially, pwede rin tumakbo itong tao na to in 2028. So you could look at 10 years of constitutionally, right, sanctioned presidency by the next one in the line of succession. So, kaya nga may nagsasabi na if ever, and we're not saying this is the case, again, this is rumor, this is conspiracy theory, na may insentibo yung ibang tao na matanggal si BBM or hindi niya matapos yung third State of the Nation address because that means that there could be 10 years under someone else, assuming that person also wins in the 2028 election, right? So, ganyan ka-charge yung atmosphere, right? With rumors, with conspiracy theories, with fears of something crazy, something stupid, something cataclysmic. So I just don't know how is this gonna help the situation. I just don't know how is this helpful. And the last thing I want to say here, guys, I want to end on this note because my speaking engagement now I have to go. Etong family drama, this kind of dysfunctional family stuff, this family feud, etong yung back and forth away, hanash, kaikbangan, all of these insinuations, double entente, all of this. Guys, ang pinakatalo dito ay yung ating bayan. Dahil parang ang gulo natin eh. Parang ang gulo natin. Sa akin palagay, humina na talaga mga Duterte. If Duterte was really good, he would have already made sure na 2022 sila pa rin in charge. Everything was there for him, everything was there for the taking. So nakita ko pa lang 2021, 2020, nang deteriorate na si Duterte. He's not the same. Everyone said na sure win ito si Sara and all of that. Now, it's not even sure she will run for presidency in 2028. And now we can see na completely marginalized ang mga Dutertes. Now, having said that, the reality though is this, na sa labas ng bansa, and ako, nakausap ko yung mga investors. I talk to big investors from all around the world. I talk to, investment groups who advise, hedge funds, etc. As a political, scientist, someone who understands how the system works. Ang problema kasi dito is nagiging mukhang banana republic tayo. Parang gulo ng bansa natin. It's just some one big, huge, crazy family feud. Parang we don't look like a modern society to a lot of people. Na parang awayan lang ng mga malalaking pamilya yan. And of course, there's no more Karen family. I thought for a long time Marcos is ang pinaka-Karen. But itong sobrang Karen nila, diba? Like everything should be about them. They constantly want political oxygen, right? They constantly want to be in the headlines. They constantly want, wait lang tanggalin ko naman isa pang troll dito, okay? Yan. You don't behave yourself, you say ridiculous, preposterous, stupid things, you're gonna get blocked, okay? Simple lang tayo. Sorry guys, I have to be very strict about this kasi pag hinayaan natin yung mga walang ya, ay magdi-distract sa atin and all of that, nothing's gonna happen to our country. We have to be strong, we have to set the tone, alright? Act like an adult and be treated like an adult. Going back to this, guys, this is not good for the country. We look like a banana republic, alright? We look like a banana republic. This kind of dysfunctional family feud stuff makes a mockery out of our democracy, alright? Yes, nakakatawa siya. Oh yeah, of course. Yan, pagtawanan natin. Panorin na natin itong henyong babaeng to. Ayan, sige, panorin natin. Yeah, nakakatawa siya, nakakaaliw. Alright?
No,
Oh,
no,
sige.
I will not attend the SONA. I am appointing myself as the
Oh, sige,
designated
sige.
survivor.
I mean, sige, lagay natin ng Narcos music, lagay natin. Yeah, it's good for media. It's good for bloggers, for content creators. It keeps all of us busy. It gives us something to talk about. But I'll tell you, at the end of the day, even if I work in the media, even if I'm someone who writes about these things, analyzes these things, even if thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of people watch us when we analyze Philippine politics, para sa akin, nakakadismaya to eh. This is bad for the country, guys. This is bad for the country. It makes our country look like a joke. It makes us look like a banana republic. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, something has to be done about this. Something has to be done about it. I'm all for antics. I understand that. It's part of politics. I understand yung mga populist, mga mojamos. I understand kailangan ng ibang tao na relevant sila parati. Gusto nila sa headlines. But at some point, nagiging crazy na ito eh, di ba? Look at it. Now we're talking about conspiracy theories openly. Ano ba to? Is this a threat? Will there be a SONA? Or is there may pangamba ba sa buhay ng ating president? Like, this is not good, guys. And this is gonna be, again, in the headlines. The Economist magazine had an article earlier this year where it talked about how this family feud is turning off investors, right? It's holding back the Philippines. And more than anything, again, I didn't vote for Marcos. And I think ang daming pagkakulang ni Marcos pagdating sa dealing with corruption. Inflation management, I think the inflation is kind of softening. But overall, creating inclusive development, dealing with poverty, bringing investors. Ang daming kailangan gawin ni Marcos. Pero hindi niya magagawa dahil distracted siya. Constantly distracted siya. Constantly may drama, constantly may threats, constantly may insulto. The news cycles is all about that. I mean, President Marcos had an important speech yesterday about the need for the Philippines to build its own steel industry, to build its own, foundational manufacturing capacities. Walang pumansin. Walang pumansin. At paano natin pag-usapan yan ng pakinang tao ngayon? Ano naman yung drama ni Digong? Anong drama ni Basti? Anong drama ni Sara? Anong sasabihin ni First Lady? This is not good for our country, guys. This is not good for our countries. We go from one Zarzuela to another Zarzuela, purong bardagulan, purong family feud, purong drama, purong telenovela. This is bad for our country. So I want to end on that note, and I want to go back to you guys later on. Sana tuloy-tuloy lang itong discussion natin. But I just want you guys to see, now when I talk about these issues, hindi ako nandito para sabihin, ito magaling, ito pangit, itong pamilya yung No. Marcoses have their own baggage, right? But what's happening right now, it's crazy, guys. It's holding the whole country back. It's making us look bad. It's turning off investors, right? Yun talaga, guys. And nakakadismaya siya. Nakakaumay na siya, to be honest about this. I mean, of course, trabaho ko to, so I'm gonna, you know, God willing, continuously i-cover natin yung mga nangyayari sa Pilipinas. Pero nakakaumay na siya eh. At hindi natin, at nakaka-distract siya dun sa mga more foundational issues na kailangan natin pag-usapan. Kailangan natin pag-usapan, guys, yung ekonomiya, kailangan natin pag-usapan investments, kailangan natin pag-usapan ang poverty, unemployment. Ang dami natin problema. At nakakatakot din ito, guys, dahil na-distracting tayo dun sa mga ginagawa ng China sa atin sa West Philippines, yung pampubuli nila sa atin sa West Philippines Sea. At of course, andito tayo sa The Hague, because gusto natin pag-usapan ng West Philippines Sea dito from the perspective of the Philippines, the challenges we're facing. Kailangan natin maging unified. Hindi yung unity team, hindi yung mga bagong Pilipinas kaikbangan ng administration. No, like we need to have a whole of nation unified front approach kasi binubuli tayo sa West Philippine Sea. There's a threat of war. A superpower is threatening us. We could be sabotaged. We're being pitted against each other. This is crazy. We cannot afford this, guys. Ang dami mga challenges na meron sa ating bansa. Ang dami mga problema kailangan natin ayusin. Ang dami mga bagay na kailangan natin prioritize. Pero hindi natin nagagawa dahil sa constant drama, dysfunctional family feud nonsense na ito. This is nonsense. This is bad for the Philippines. And this is holding us back. And I really, really hope next year after midterm elections, wala na ito. I mean, not zero, but at least we bring it down to a certain level whereby we can focus on important issues, important priorities for our countries para naman pag-usapan natin, para naman ayusin natin yung mga malalim, mga structural problems na meron tayo sa ating bansa. Nakakadismaya kasi ito, guys. Again, as I said, yes, it's entertaining, pero ang tagal na eh. 2015 pa natin pinag-usapan ng mga hanash kaikbangan ng Duterte family. Magto 2025 na ganun pa rin. Ganun pa rin yung kalidad. Wala akong problema na pag-usapan isang pamilya. Politics is politics. Pero yung kalidad ng discussion, yung paraan ng paglalagay ng sarili nila sa headlines, etong ganito. My goodness, it's just so toxic. It makes us look like a banana republic. So yun po, dun talaga nakakadismaya itong issue na ito. And so I hope eventually all of us learn to hopefully one day mag-level up na tayo and we get out of this populist antics, mumbo jumbo, zarzuela politics that we have, which is a mockery out of our democracy, which is turning off investors, and it's preventing the Philippines from fulfilling its maximum potentials as a country. On that note, thank you very much, mga kameta, lahat ng mga nanonood sa atin, lahat ng sumusuporta sa akin. Please continue to support us on different platforms. Libre lang mag-support, magbigay ng 5 stars if you think we deserve that. On Spotify, Deep Dive with Richard Haydaran, just put Haydaran, lalabas tayo. Also on Apple Podcast. Your support is extremely important for us to continue this effort, to get the good message out, to make the right argument, to fight the good fight, and to continue to hope for and continue to contribute to a better Philippines, a better future for our country. Para tuloy-tuloy itong ginagawa natin. So your support, your comments, your suggestions, you're trolling even. I'll be honest. I mean, I block here and there, but I allow a lot of trolls to get their way. And some people are just disagreeing with me, and that's not trolling. If you disagree with me but respectfully based on facts, okay lang yan. Walang problema yan. That's not trolling. Alright? Lahat po kayo ay nagko-contribute dito sa nangyari dito. And of course, sa lahat ng mga bigay ng stars, nagbigay ng stickers, nagbigay ng suporta, nagbigay, tumulong para mag-crowdfund tayo ng mga gadgets na ginagamit natin, mga, a lot of vlogs we're doing is based on, the funds we're able to the support that we have from all of you guys, ating mga kababayan, among others. So this continued support that you're giving us is also allowing us to build our capabilities, so that we can give you more high quality vlogs and production and all of that. These are things that we're still working on. On that note, maraming salamat. Thank you very much. Very kind of you, and please continue to support us. All right, few clicks. And please also, don't forget to share and recommend, and also ask other people na, to get into this discussion. Because ako lang nagsasalita, pero binabasa ko yung comments yun. I'm reacting to live. And you can see, this is live. Walang script, walang team, this is me, this is my ideas, thinking out loud, and sharing with you honestly and sincerely what is my understanding of the state of the nation. On that note, thank you very much. God bless, and talk to you soon. Salamat po. God bless po. Salamat po. God bless. Thank you very much. Salamat po. Thank you very much.